everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in to Karli Bee TV. I'm Dr. Karli Shaboos. Welcome to Wellness Wednesday. Today, we're talking to Justin Connolly. He's a nurse practitioner at Piedmont Macon Emergency Room Department. Thank you so much for joining us, Justin.
Absolutely, anytime.
Today's topic, we're talking about water safety. It's summertime. A lot of the public pools have opened up. People are hitting the beach for vacation, and we just want to make sure everyone is safe. So, the first thing I want to ask you, Justin, we're talking about drowning. Now, drowning is one of the biggest things that people it just happened. Can you just give us real quick just some safety tips that parents should know while taking their kids to the beach or the pool?
Yeah, I would say number one safety tip is don't assume that somebody is watching your child, right? Always make sure that you've got direct supervision and direct eyes on your baby that's playing in the pool and being a kid as they should, right? It is our job to take care of them as best as we can, and especially around water. This time of year is a time that's meant for fun and meant a time to go outside and have a blast. Nobody should be cooped up inside when it's so nice out. But when you're around water and making sure that we are taking a look at our kids, make sure they're wearing their appropriate safety devices so that they can ensure have a good time and it not becomes unfortunately sometimes the worst day in a family's life.
Okay. So we often at times just think that drowning is loud and obvious. Can you please share with us, some of the warning signs that we can look for as we are, having our kids and family members around the water?
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, television and movies and stuff has made drowning this big dramatic event, but it really is something that could be a silent killer, right? And I would say that when you go to the movies and they say silence is golden, well, when in regards to water safety and possible drowning, silence is unfortunately um, not very good. So when you're around a pool and everything goes from everybody's yelling and screaming and having a good time to not, right, that could be a cause for concern. But it always comes back to making sure that we've got appropriate supervision on our kids, making sure where they are wearing their appropriate devices, and making sure they're not in water that's too deep for them. Right? If they're meant to be in the shallow end, they're meant to be in the shallow end. If they're meant to be in the kiddie pool, then that's where they should stay. Um, and then as we go on, obviously we'll talk about some different tools and tips that kids can actually do as well. But it's just making sure that we're always keeping our supervision on and making sure that if it gets silent, right, we're checking the pool, we're walking around, and we're making sure that we're seeing our babies.
Okay. Now, let's just talk about an event where someone is pulled from water and they seem to be unconscious. What can bystanders do before EMS arrives?
Yeah, number one is to get EMS on board, right? They can't come if you don't call them. So it's immediately when you see that an adverse event has happened, is calling 911, getting them to your facility, and getting them to your property as quickly as possible. But secondly, is doing high quality CPR. Um, don't just assume that somebody at your party knows CPR, right? Go out and get your CPR certification because it really can save lives. Early and efficient CPR, where it doesn't have to be in a hospital, right? Everybody sees it on Netflix and movies where CPR is done in the hospital, but the most impressive, the most life saving CPR can happen right in your own home.
Okay. Now, last question. Just any additional tips that you would want to give families before they head out to the pool, the beaches, just to remember these water safety tips.
Absolutely. It starts with supervision, but there's needs to be layers of protection, right? You're at a party for a reason, right? Everybody's gathered and fellowshipping and having a great time. And you may not always be looking at your child, but if your child's got the appropriate safety devices on, whether that be swimsuits or floaties or Coast Guard approved life jackets, but it also goes even before you get to the party, right? If and introducing your kids to water and getting your kids confident in the water areas, getting them in swim lessons. Because as that kid comes into a situation where they do get a little tired and they know what to do, swim to the nearest side, grab onto the side and get yourself out of the pool. If you're super young, you lay on your back and you float, right? And most importantly, you call for help when you're feeling not as confident in the water because even unfortunately, even the best swimmers in the world can get super tired. So it's knowing how to get out of the pool, it's knowing how to keep yourself safe. Unfortunately, and families in my hometown have gone through traumatic events like this, and they're doing such good work in the community to get kids involved in swim lessons and water safety events like that, so that it doesn't happen to them as well. But it's an unfortunate travesty that has happened to many families across the Macon-Bibb area and across the country, right? But getting these kids confident, wearing the appropriate safety devices, and having family just supervise their kids, not assuming that somebody else is looking, makes for an awesome summer.
Very good. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show, Justin, and just sharing these helpful tips. And I hope our viewers take advantage of this and just keep all of this stuff in mind as they're out vacationing with their families this
For
summer.
sure. Yes, ma'am. Enjoy it always. Have a good summer.
It's What's Happening Weekend on KBTV, and this your boy Country Wayne.
Hey everybody, this is Tamala Man, and I'm rolling with Karli Bee TV.
Hey everybody, my girl Tamar Braxton, all the way live on Karli Bee TV.
Yours truly, Atlanta's own MC Lifey, and I want to let you know I'm all the way live with Karli Bee TV. That way, the long way. I'm always Karli Bee TV. Peace up and A-Town down.
Yo, this Henry Wells, the most feared man in comedy. Street T, all the way live on Karli Bee TV. I'm here, baby. Check them out.
Hey, what's up? I'm Tony Terry, all the way live on Karli Bee TV. You heard me?
Poker Bear, all the way live with Karli Bee TV, you understand me? You gonna learn today, babe.